Hello, and today we are going to do the Diels-Alder reaction with Butadiene Sulfone. So, first thing you're going to want to do, set up your 25 ml round bottom flask in a heating mantle covered in sand, just kind of like so. And next, you're going to want to add your reagents. So, we have 2 grams of butadiene sulfone, then we will want to add our maleic anhydride. Get this, it's in a pellet form, so it'll have to be crushed by mortar and pestle. That's 1.2 grams of that, and your heating rock, just one of those in there, and then we have 5 mils of our xylene. So next thing we are going to do is set up our reflux apparatus. So just like so. Now, one thing we're going to do is the top. Let me move this on the top here. Going to put this here. It's going to be a trap, and it's going to be hooked up to your aspirator, and it's going to draw a very light vacuum. And then you're going to put a kind of a rolled up piece of paper towel in the top of it. You're not going to plug it entirely, just kind of very loosely in there. And what that's going to do is allow a little bit of air to get in there, but that aspirator is going to remove any SO2 gas that comes out, because you do not want to inhale that. So now that we have that all set up, just turn this on very lightly. Like I said, you don't need much vacuum. You don't need anywhere near as much as if we were doing a Buckner funnel. And it's a very small amount of water as well. And then turn on your reflux apparatus to about 40. And there we go. Now, if you want to see if you have enough vacuum, just put your finger over the end of it quickly before it starts going. You should feel a light vacuum, and then put this back in. And now you're going to wait for it to start boiling. And as soon as it dissolves and starts refluxing, boiling, then you start your 30 minutes for the reaction. All right, so it's been a half an hour, so we will remove it from the heat and let it cool down. So now that it's cooled down, we can shut our vacuum off the aspirator, and we can remove this top part, because if the reaction is complete, all of the SO2 gas was produced and removed in that reaction. So now we can take our 4 mils of water and add it just in through the top. And there we go. So now we will put it back into the heat and turn our rheostat to about 40, and now let it reflux again for another 30 minutes. All right, it's been 30 minutes since we added our water, so we're gonna turn off the heat remove it from the heat source, and now we are going to let it cool and see what happens next. Right, so took the reflux condenser off and removed the heat, and that didn't really crystallized or crashed out, so I'm gonna add 3 drops of concentrated sulfuric acid. There we go. And then I'm going to put it in an ice bath to let it cool. So we'll leave it in there for about 10-ish minutes, 15, somewhere in there, and then we will filter it next. Okay, so now that it's been cooling for about 15 minutes, our final step is to use our filtering flask and Buckner funnel and filter it, leave it at, if you're using the vacuum pump, for about 5 to 10 minutes. If you're using vacuum aspirator or the sink, it's going to be about 15 minutes. So just go accordingly, and then we will check our melting point after this. Okay, so I weighed my product. I ended up with 1.7 grams roughly. I ended up with a 85% yield, and my melting point was about 147, which I believe is a little low. So that could be just residual water that's in there. That's going to lower the melting point quite a bit on it. And that's pretty much all there is. And good luck.